Hey everyone, this is Ronak Ahuja. Welcome you all again. In this video of today, we'll be discussing what exactly is advance tax, why was it introduced, when is it applicable, and who all are the persons who are required to pay advance tax. This topic of advance tax even becomes more crucial if you are a small business, a freelancer, or a person having substantial gains or profits from investments in shares or in any other form of investments. So, do remember to stick around till the end to understand the very basic concept of advance tax and its applicability. So, without wasting any further time, let's quickly begin. Now, before we try and understand what exactly advance tax is, let's first try and understand why was it introduced in the first place. Let's try and understand this with the help of an example. Say, a taxpayer that earns the income during the financial year from the 1st of April until the 31st of March, the returns for that financial year will be filed in the next year once the financial year ends. This means for all the incomes that are earned during the financial year, the returns will be filed in the next year, that is the assessment year. The taxpayer calculates the entire income that is earned during the financial year and then calculates the taxes on such income. Once these taxes are calculated, he then files the return after paying such taxes. Now, I would like to highlight one thing here. The taxes that are paid by the taxpayer here after the financial year ends is nothing but a revenue to the government. The government uses this revenue to provide it regular services that includes various public welfare services. These services may include public administrative services, public healthcare services, national defense services, or any other services for public welfare. Although the taxes, that is the revenue of the government, is received at the year end, the government provides this service throughout the entire financial year instead of the year end. Now, since the government provides these services throughout the entire financial year, the government needs a steady flow of funds to keep providing these services without any disruption. And thus, the need for advance tax arose. The government then introduced this concept of advance tax. This advance tax was payable during the entire financial year itself, that is, throughout the entire financial year in installments, instead of paying the entire big chunk at the year end. So, the taxes that were paid during the financial year itself were termed as advance tax, and the taxes that are paid after the financial year ends is known as self-assessment tax. Now that we know the difference, the next big question was, when is this advance tax actually payable? That is, when are we supposed to pay this advance tax during the financial year? The answer is, the advance tax is payable in 4 installments during the financial year. And those 4 installment dates are the 15th of June, 15th of September, 15th of December, and the 15th of March. So these are the 4 dates when the advance tax is to be paid during the financial year. Now, when we understand when is this advance tax payable, the next question would be, at what rates are the advance tax payable? This again has been set outright by the income tax rules. A taxpayer who is required to pay advance tax as per the provisions of the Income Tax Act will have to pay at least 15% of the net tax liability by the 15th of June. Any taxpayer who is liable to pay advance tax will have to pay at least 45% of the net tax liability by the 15th of September. Likewise, it will have to pay 75% of the net tax liability by the 15th of December and 100% of the net tax liability by the 15th of March. So these were the rates of advance tax as well as the due dates of advance tax. Now let's move to an even bigger question. Who is this advance tax applicable to? This is covered in our next segment. Now, to whom are these provisions of advance tax applicable to? That is, who are the persons who will be required to pay advance tax in these 4 installments? All the taxpayers, including salaried individuals and all types of businesses, including smaller businesses, will be required to pay the advance tax as per the income tax provisions. If the net tax liability of that taxpayer is rupees 10,000 or more during the financial year. This means that in case the total tax liability minus the TDS or TCS collected for the taxpayer during the financial year is rupees 10,000 or more, then in such a case he would be supposed to pay the advance tax as per the income tax provisions. Now this is the same net tax liability that we just discussed a couple of minutes ago while discussing the advance tax rates. Now let's try and understand this with the help of an example. In case 1, the total tax liability is rupees 25,000 and the TDS or TCS that has been collected during the financial year is rupees 16,000. Now the question is the advance tax applicable in this case? The net tax liability is rupees 9,000 and since it's less than 10,000, thus advance tax won't be applicable. Moving on to the second case. Here the total tax liability is rupees 12,000 and the TDS or TCS collected is rupees 1,500. Thus the net tax liability is rupees 10,500. Since the net tax liability is greater than 10,000, the advance tax would be applicable. Now in the third case, the total tax liability is rupees 18,000 and the total TDS or TCS collected during the financial year is rupees 8,000. The net tax liability comes to rupees 10,000. Now here, is the advance tax applicable? The answer is yes. Since the net tax liability is rupees 10,000, the advance tax will be applicable. So these were some of the examples explaining the applicability of advance tax. Now viewers, I would like to point out one more exception. There is one exception in the applicability of advance tax provisions. In case a person is a senior citizen, that is aged 60 years or more, and he does not have any business income during the financial year, then in such a case, the provisions of advance tax won't be applicable on such taxpayer, that is the senior citizen. This was just one exemption that is available for the advance tax provisions. Now let's move on to the next segment, that is the due dates for advance tax. Now what are the due dates for payment of advance tax? We discussed it in the very beginning of the topic, but we will be discussing it again. The first installment is to be paid by the 15th of June, the second one by the 15th of September, the third one by the 15th of December, and by the fourth one, that is the fourth installment, has to be paid by the 15th of March. Now, the reason why I am discussing it again, because there is one exception to it as well. Where in case a taxpayer is an assessee who opts for the presumptive taxation scheme under section 44AD and 44ADA, in such cases, he will not be required to pay the advance tax in 4 installments. Instead, he will be required to pay the advance tax in only one installment. That would be due on the 15th of March. and by the 15th of March, he will have to pay the entire advance tax, that is 100% of the net tax liability. So these were the due dates and the exception to the due dates. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is consequences if you do not adhere to the provisions of the advance tax. In case you fail to pay advance tax, then in such a case, you will be liable to pay interest as per section 234B and 234C of the Income Tax Act. Now, we won't be discussing the manner of calculation of interest under section 234B and C in this video. It is because it involves immense complexity and has to be treated in a separate video. That is, it has to be dealt with in a separate video. So, we'll be discussing the manner of calculation of advance tax as well as the calculation of interest under section 234B and C in our upcoming videos, the link to which will be available in the comment section. Do remember to have a look at it. So, these were the very basics of advance tax. We hope we were able to clarify all your doubts and educate you on this topic. In case you couldn't follow, please drop us a feedback in the comment section or alternatively mail us at talklevies@gmail.com. Thank you and stay tuned for more videos.